Hello and welcome to Feed Me Something, where our passports are Australian but our wallets are citizens of the world. I'm Hammy Goodman. That is the Eagle. Eagle, welcome to you.
I've been upgraded.
Yeah.
And Sam's been replaced.
Upgraded the century. How good.
It's just us two now. Sam's not here anymore.
Yeah, I was a bit tentative to come and actually do this show with you after the Tigers lost to Manly the other day. Or learned to Manly, should I say, but...
God, both teams learned pretty much. That was so bad.
Where do you rate that first half of footy in terms of quality?
Like, potentially worst ever.
Yeah.
Especially if we didn't end up scoring towards the end, I was like, okay, well, whatever.
Yep.
But Jesus Christ, it was like, I was actually speaking to Guru about it after the game. Like, it didn't even feel like we won. It was just a relief. I was like, okay, 2 points, avoid the spoon. That's it.
Yep. Well, congratulations. It was a tough watch, but
it was a real tough watch.
Slightly less tough for you. Well done.
Yeah.
And joining us down the line today, he was recently, he's defended his title. He's in the top 5 least influential minds in rugby league, as you might have seen on Code Sports earlier in the week. Just got back from Japan, but not with us back in the studio. Konnichiwa to our Japanese correspondent, Sam Phillips.
Yes, arigato gozaimasu.
Oh,
good to be back.
Oh, wow.
Jeez. So I guess...
Go on.
Oh, no, this is going to be a nightmare, isn't it, the lag on Zoom? But the question on everyone's lips, how was Japanese Hinge?
Didn't get involved in the Japanese Hinge. Kept it firmly planted in Bellevue Hill. But yeah, no, lots of fun had over there. Actually, a few more Australians than you'd think over there. Bumped into a bunch in Tokyo in particular. Not many in Osaka and Kyoto, but no, great trip. Good to be back. Didn't sleep 1 wink on the red eye. I took some sleeping pills, drinking red wine, all of it. Couldn't sleep. So
combo.
Sounds like a standard night for you.
I'm a big no sleeping pill guy. I think really mess with it, but yeah, no, literally didn't sleep 1 wink on not last night, night before. So I don't know how people do it. You got to be flying business to sleep, I reckon, unless you two got.
I can sleep for Australia. I'm much to Mon's chagrin. We fly anywhere, and I'm just like out like that, and she will do the same thing as Sam and really struggle.
I'm a struggler. Yeah, I think when I flew to Europe a couple of years ago, I maybe got like 1 hour sleep in the entire 2 legs.
Yeah,
I just like to watch the flight map instead. I don't watch any movies, just the flight map.
Yeah,
that's psychotic.
Have you got a bit of have you got a top 3?
Do you actually sit there and watch it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I love like the flight tracker app. It's great.
Yeah,
it's like the flight tracker app, but it's your plane.
It is very calming. Have you got a bit of a top 3 kind of things you did or saw or whatever in Japan?
The very last night, actually, I went to it's only been open a couple of years, but a friend of mine from Brisbane, Alyssa Sukamori, who certainly won't be watching this show, she's actually half Australian, half Japanese. She had this intel for a Japanese barbecue place where you go and like they cook it in front of you. You have your own personal chef. They talk you through all the cuts. It's like from cattle that's only one of 400 Wagyu beef exported from Japan each year. That was unbelievable. What else? I'd say the Osaka nightlife was actually really good, surprisingly so. And then in terms of like a wholesome thing, the Kyoto Inari Shrine was sick. Oh, the baseball too. I know people tipped me into the baseball. I probably didn't really know what I was expecting, but the crowd of the baseball, as you know, Hammy, was unbelievable. It's like going to a European game of soccer.
Were you under the dome?
Crazy.
Under the dome?
Yeah, Tokyo Dome, yeah.
Yeah, good. Yeah, the best. You didn't get, because I was going for my beloved Hiroshima Carp when I went to that game, and I went and sat in a Giants section. I got told to move. You didn't have that sort of issue? A cop came up to me and goes, you can't sit here wearing that hat.
Like
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
It's like a weekend at like European soccer games.
Yeah, pretty much. Just how they're pretty good. How they're all in sync and a very different experience to standing on the Manly Hill where you're just getting abused, from various different angles. There's no kind of regimentation to it at all.
It was very hectic. I think a Friday night game at Brookie is like where everyone just goes loose. Like, as you know, I'm not a hill. I don't sit on the hill.
Yeah.
And that one half that I stood on the hill, that's enough for the season.
Yeah.
I'll be back in the stands.
Plenty of hillbillies up there, weren't there?
Plenty of hillbillies. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
How have you two been since in my absence? You managed to survive?
I can't put a finger on it. It's like there's some sort of weight has just been lifted off our shoulders over the last couple of weeks. It's been fantastic. Yeah, really
Just been
productive.
It must be pretty boring around there.
We've got so much done, but we obviously lived through you.
Yeah.
I'm glad you took us on your journey to Japan.
Yeah.
You kept up to date.
Yep.
I appreciate.
Yeah. Well, you just gave us your top three.
What are you talking?
We might maybe rattle through our top three Sam Phillips moments from Japan as well, which you've kept there. Who wants to kind of start? I think maybe the one that we don't have. We'll finish with that. Yeah. So mine, I'll go with my one first. I'm just, how are you feeling? I think it was on was it maybe are you feeling any different now than you were feeling on the 24th of June? Is there any difference in how you're feeling or?
Where was I on the 24th of June? I feel good both days. I feel like.
Yeah. Any change at all or?
I don't know. What day was the 24th? I don't know. What is this?
Last Tuesday.
There had to be a bit of change.
Had to be a bit of change because apparently you're not in the exaggeration business, but this ramen was life-changing gear.
Hey, it looks pretty good though, doesn't it?
Does look good. What's changed?
Yeah. How did it change your life? Tell us.
It's just a bit of a spiritual awakening of what the wonders of ramen can do for a man. It was unbelievable stuff. Yeah.
You had that before lunch as well, because when you criticised me when I said I was eating ramen for breakfast over there, that would have been kind of ballpark breakfast time. You were getting that down your gob. Judge on when I took the screenshot.
I'll let you in a little secret. In the content world, Hammy, not everything that you see on the stories was taken at that time. It was actually the night before that ramen.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yes. So life-changing, you had to kind of just let it settle before you posted it.
Well, I forgot to, if you want to know, I forgot to upload it, and then I uploaded something else, and I was like, oh, no, I'll put that ramen up.
How do you forget to upload it if it's life-changing? That's what I want to know.
Because I was too busy enjoying this spiritual experience of the ramen to worry about uploading it. Anyway, keep going. What are the other things?
Okay, so our other one, because we've kind of come to an agreed list here.
Yeah.
My one was obviously the egg sandwich. If you know, you know. I don't know what I was supposed to know. If you could inform us.
See, here's the thing: is you actually do know. So you're talking complete rubbish.
What do you mean? It was an egg sandwich.
Yeah, but you're always banging. Before I left, you're like, oh, make sure you send me like 7-Eleven content. Like the egg sandwiches look unbelievable.
I did not say anything about the egg sandwich. 7-Eleven, yes. I did not even know they sold egg sandwiches at 7-Eleven.
Yeah, they're world-class egg sandwiches. If you like egg sandwiches, which I do.
Life-changing egg sandwich?
I didn't, as you would.
You would have said if it was.
Exactly. I would have said so in the content.
Yeah.
But that was well enjoyed, that story. Got a fair bit of love.
I knew we were having this discussion in the office last week that there would be a few replies, I reckon.
Yeah, there's no one. You weren't on Hinge over there, but you were on Hinge over there.
Yes.
Really.
He's working hard.
Yeah. And paired beautifully with a can of coffee as well.
Yeah. Correct.
Yep.
That was my breakfast most days. It was fantastic.
Yeah. So I probably would have had that a little bit higher. I could have always had that as number one.
Yeah.
The announcement one. The other one that would just kind of crossed our desk was the worth the hype at is it the Inari, the gates there, the orange and black ones?
Yeah, again, very viral. Yeah, very, very viral. There it is.
Yeah.
Very viral spot to go to in Kyoto. Everyone says go at this time, go at this time. A lot of people are saying it's overhyped. I was like, nah. It's worth the hype.
The timing there, because we went and it was a bit of a dog's breakfast, too many people there. So when was that? Just for the viewers at home?
It was early. Not like sparrows, but it was like sort of 8 a.m. I reckon. And the key is, as you would know, the higher you get, the more that people, as a general rule, people are cowards and they'll stop walking high because it's a tough hike up that hill.
Yeah.
So that was close to the very top, I reckon. Because it's like an hour up there, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was. I was doing 20. I think I had a look. Average like 25,000 steps a day over there, which is pretty wild.
Nice, very good. Well, there you go. That was our top three. Let us know in the comments what were your top three Sam Phillips in Japan moments.
I was very cognizant of not uploading. I only uploaded like one a day, maybe stories. unlike Ella, or who we know, if she was over there, be 25 stories a day.
At least I didn't
Alex
write.
Dorcas.
At least I didn't write cringe captions with mine.
Yeah.
That's what are you talking about? How is any of that cringe?
Trust me, it was a hot topic in the office last week.
What?
Did you like Quiggs's take on it on his story?
Quiggs is he replied to the Sando one too.
No, but did you see him put it on his when he went up to Cairns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think Quiggs should be saying anything when he pretends he's a Bondi lifeguard most of the time. Like, what is he on about?
We got Quiggs on the show in a couple of weeks for the British and Irish Lions. He's agreed to that, so we're looking forward to that.
Yep.
I did like your one. It looked like it was at what's the art gallery called again?
Team Labs.
Team Labs. Yeah, I like the after 2.5 schooners. That was
Okay,
great.
so that's okay. But
That one was fine.
Okay.
That was a pass. Yeah.
That came in at number 4. Couldn't fit them all in. That was the top 3. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for that, guys.
No, that's all
Thanks a
good. Welcome back. Welcome back, though. It's good to have you back. I'm looking forward to having you back in the studio next week. Now, obviously, we'll get through some repercussions as well. We're finishing up the series or this season of Feed Me Something with the score, and we'll start afresh from today. We've got Sean Ormerod coming on from Get Em Onside. He's going to talk us through some State of Origin because clearly we don't know what we're talking about, haven't really hit the frame too much through the series. So good to get someone on that knows a little bit what they're talking about. But before we do all of that, should we just go through the repercussions of last week?
We should, but just speaking on us resetting the scores, obviously your punishment.
Yes.
We did get a few comments when we posted the video of some suggestions.
Any good ones?
Someone said to do Batman. Someone said to do Lockie Galvin in a dog's kit.
Jeez.
And we had 2 comments saying Borat Mankini.
Yeah. I actually, once upon a time, I actually had a mankini.
Okay,
and I don't have it anymore.
Damn.
So
What happened to the Mankini?
I lent it to some people. They needed it for like a scavenger hunt and it never came back. And I was pretty annoyed. I was like, can I have that? And like, whenever I asked for it, there was like a bit of an awkward silence. I don't know what happened to the Mankini or whatever, but I never got it back.
Yeah, maybe you don't want it back.
Yeah, I got it in I got it in like a limited edition Borat DVD as well. They're pretty like an official one. A bit hard to
I love, it's my favourite movie, so.
Yeah.
Stuff.
But I don't think we'll get the compliance card stamped on the old Borat Mankini anyway.
That's
Galvin though. Galvin could work.
Yeah. Could do. Keep them coming though.
Yeah, we've still got plenty of time.
The point is I'll be running it in something that I don't really want to run it in.
Yeah.
Keep them coming. Got a couple of weeks and we probably also need to work out how I'm going to get a ticket because it's now sold out.
Yes.
I do have a few levers to pull.
Yeah.
But we need to work that out in the next couple of weeks.
Good man.
Yep. All right, we go again. So do you want to talk us through maybe how you went first and foremost, Sam?
Yeah, can do. Queensland got the job done. I had 3 units on them. That was saved me from doing this run because Grant, I had to score a try. He didn't score. Had Dearden man of the match. I thought he was probably a little bit stiff, maybe, hence the price he is, as you well know, Hammy, for Wally Lewis medal. I thought he was probably as good as Munster. I backed the Cats to get the job done against the Lions. I beat that closing line by 6 points, and they proceeded to get absolutely belted. I then backed the Finns 13+ and the Broncos 13+. This is a couple of weeks ago, mind you, and neither of them got the job done. So minus 2.7 for me, minus 43.07 overall.
Yes, on to me. For once, I started to find my mojo a little bit. I had Munster anytime try scorer paying $5.60. Beautiful. I had Munster player of the match paying $14. So those obviously helped me a little bit. Latrell, I had to score a try. Still hasn't scored one this series, which I can't believe. Luai, I had a little something on him for player of the match as well, which didn't salute. India, I thought, had their chances, but weren't good enough to knock over England. If that had happened, I would have dodged this run. So, I've been behind for quite a while, so probably fair enough that I've got to do it in the end.
Came close though.
Came very close. Boomerang was outstanding in the first innings. Takur bowled absolute poo and Wokes. I'd be surprised if he plays too many more tests off the back of that. Taruva didn't score, but the Pies absolutely hammered the Saints. So, look, plus 10.4 for the week.
They covered in the last 60 seconds of that game,
Hammered them. So, by over 30 points, which is great. So, anyway, look, one of my best weeks, but wasn't enough still to see me avoid the punishment. So, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm so sad. After being in the green for so long in this period, I finished in the red overall.
It was a bloodbath.
It was a bloodbath. Obviously, New South Wales let me down. I had New South Wales 13+, Latrell player of the match, and Liam Martin anytime try scorer. I also had a New South Wales 13+ multi with Lomax and Latrell to score, and the first try to be after 8 minutes. It happened in the 7th minute, was it? I think it was something very close. It's like I said, the traders know exactly when to put it. Jesus Christ. And then the Finns decided to just not perform the week I get on them. So
Finns down.
Finns down. So Finns to win both half did not come through. My first try after 8 minutes, but did not come through. But Melbourne, most Liverpool City, they came third or fourth, I think.
Yeah.
And I had them to finish third, fourth or fifth. So that did come through, but unfortunately it meant I was minus 11.2 and minus 10.49 overall. But keen to
well done.
I still won, but I wish it was in the green.
Your first crack at it. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Not easy to be in the green. Only the truly great punters of our generation have finished in the green and won seasons of Feed Me Something in the past. So
fair point.
Something to think about there. All right. Without further ado, let's get someone on who knows what they're talking about to try and find a couple of angles for State of Origin 3, the decider. Looking forward to that. So let's get straight over to him, Sean Ormerod. All right, very lucky to have on the show one of the hosts of Get Em Onside. Just missed out on a spot in the top 50 most influential minds in rugby league as well. I thought controversially, personally. But it's fantastic to have someone on this show who actually knows what they're talking about in the world of rugby league. A breath of fresh air from Sam's hot air that he spouts out. So welcome to the show for the second time this season? Or first time this season?
First time this year. Yeah, I'm just happy to be back and even happier that Sam's on in the building on the occasion.
You've dodged a bullet there. Welcome Sean Ormerod to the show. It's good.
No, it's good to be. That top 50, that's a hot field, isn't it?
Wasn't it?
Are they going to reveal the bottom 50 of the 100?
Sam was entrenched in the top 5 for the second year in a row of least influential minds in the game. So hot field there as well.
Where are you, Sammy? You probably already discussed this, but where are you? Just for my own knowledge.
I'm in my parents moved house yesterday up here in Brizzy, and this is their spare bedroom.
You strike me as one of those blokes who lives in their parents' basement.
Parents' basement sort of bloke, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I haven't lived with my parents for a long time. It's like 22, I reckon I moved out.
Oh, good on you.
You would have hung around a lot longer than that, Hammy.
I was straight out of there. Need I remind you, I grew up in Canberra. I was pretty quick pretty keen to get out of there.
I was talking about this with the great Joel Kane last week, actually. He's transitioning. He's in that era of parenthood where the kids are sort of starting to think about leaving. There's two schools of thought in the household. He wants to push them out. Hope I'm not speaking out of school.
No, I heard this on the show.
Wife wants to keep them. And I said, what? Day one after high school, I was out of there.
Me too. Yeah, and you happy with that call?
Very.
Get a bit more worldly, get a bit more experience under the belt.
But the fact, you said you were Canberra.
Yeah.
I was in Maui. So you want to get out of there quick smart.
Yeah. That's right. Well, and Sam was in Brisbane. I would have thought he would.
Now.
You would have been keen to get out of there, Sam, or no?
Yeah. Yeah, no, yes and no. Like, it's big enough. By the time I was like early 20s, I wanted to get out of there. My main thing now is, like, if you live in Sydney, like Shug does, obviously, you would not want to leave as early as possible because it's so expensive to live elsewhere, which is probably why I'm probably in Shug's wife's camp.
Glad he's at camp there.
Probably, but it's the life experience stuff too, so I can see both sides of the argument. Definitely.
No, it's a good point. You did break up for a fraction there, but we got. We got you.
We didn't lose anything.
No, we didn't lose. We got the gist. We're catching what you're kicking.
You didn't lose, mate.
So, Shawnee, we got you on obviously ahead of Origin 3, the decider.
Yes.
Firstly, are you surprised that we're going to a decider? Because you were pretty hot on. I think you thought the Blues were going to get it done easily in game 2. Is that right? Or
no.
You thought they were going to Queensland were going to rally.
Yeah, I was half sticking up for Queensland. I just couldn't really work out the change in the betting. So game 1, New South Wales was something like 4.5 or 5.5 point favourites. So go to neutral turf in Perth and only jumped up to sort of 7.5. So there was a few things at play I couldn't really work out. And without putting a tinfoil hat on, and it did come to sort of fruition in the first half with the penalty count, but I won't put the hat on. There is a tendency to, to call the 50-50s in a certain way to maybe get the decider. That was in their favour. So I was on the plus, but holy hell, they were lucky to win the game in the end.
Yeah, I know. It came home with a wet sail, the Blues. Looked like they were going to potentially wrap it up there for you. But it's good. It's just good for the game, isn't it, that we've got to decide?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Can't wait for it.
So are you going to head out?
I'll be out there.
You going?
I'll be heading out.
What, behind the glass, I assume?
There might be some glass involved.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I'll be working though.
Get Em Onside crew heading out there as well?
Well, yeah, DG, the great Dan Ganane. No, Dan Ganane will be there. He'll be working. He'll be
charging his full day rate?
Yes. No, he'll be working on Triple M, obviously.
Okay, yep.
Sugar, I'm assuming, will be SEN duties.
Yep. Blues call or the non-bias call?
I think Blues call.
Blues call.
Yeah.
I like that little initiative from SEN. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, and I'll just be sort of loitering around, trying to look busy.
Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Nice. Got the accreditation on. Very good. I think we'll probably be out there as well. Unconfirmed. You going out?
If we can think of content.
Yeah. I think just a nice reward for all the great content we've done so far this year.
Is that how you work? Is you work backwards?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Get the tickets
Where
first.
do we want to go?
Generally,
and
yeah.
then we think of it.
like
That's what we did for game 1.
Smart.
Yeah, nice. So what sort of angles are you kind of running for game 3?
Well, this is how fickle punting is. So, sort of with New South Wales game 1, with Queensland game 2, I'm definitely all over the Blues in game 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, it goes back to this. I can't really work out what the betting's doing. So there were 7.5 point favourites, neutral turf in Perth. Come back to Sydney, and again, you're still only getting 7.5, or it might have ticked up to 8, given the. I won't sort of say it's solely on the Shibazaki selection, which I'm sure we'll touch on in a moment. But I'm not sure the market has really loved that from Billy, and the Blues have firmed probably accordingly off the back of that.
Yeah, he's a like a modern day Adam Mogg. I reckon he's going to surprise a few people. Now, what? Just speaking of markets and Shibazaki, what were you were talking in the green room earlier? But what would you have priced that up at? You know, if I told you in January that Shibazaki would be playing game 3,
Start of the year, it's genuinely a 5,001 shot. And if you had offered me that, I wouldn't have backed it. Even last week, there's potential it could have been a 1,001 shot last week.
Yeah.
And even when Ponga got injured, I still couldn't believe what the hell I was hearing.
Yeah.
But here we are. We live in a strange world. It goes back. It's actually the same thing happened in, remember 2020, Brenko Lee. He's won an Origin and a comp for the Melbourne Storm in the same year. And again, that was, you're talking 10,001 shots at the start of the year.
Yeah.
So look, it can be done. Will it be done? Not so sure.
Queensland have had a few of those kind of 1,001 shots. I mean, that series alone, you know, Corey Allen in there,
Yes.
Phil Sami. Probably could have mounted a better case for Phil Sami almost to be in the side this year than Jemmet Shibazaki. But anyway, here we are.
So it's a strange old year, and I don't think it's one of those selections where there won't be any grey area with how it turns out. I think it's either going to be a stroke of pure genius by Bill, and they win the game, or we could look back on it in a few years and go, holy hell.
What's doing? What about the other bombshell? Dragging Josh Papali'i out of retirement.
That one I don't mind.
Yeah.
That one I don't mind, because I think, and just on the Shibazaki stuff, they need to win the game. They need to go toe-to-toe with a bit of attacking flair with New South Wales. So I don't think they can win. You're not going to beat them kicking the corners and try and turn it into a bit of an arm wrestle, which it looks like they're trying to do by not playing Walsh.
Yep.
But the Papa one I can sort of get.
Yeah.
I can sort of see that one.
Nice thing about the Papa selection is it gives them a bit of depth with the goal kicking as well. Obviously, if something happens to Val.
What about his action?
Struck that one beautifully, didn't he?
He had the lean back.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah.
little follow through.
Yeah, mullet
beautiful.
flapping in the breeze.
Yeah, he had Shug very excited as an ex sort of number one goal kicker in the NRL, leading point scorer.
Yep.
He had Sugar up and about.
How did he rate his technique?
10 out of 10.
Liked it? Yeah.
Yeah.
A few goal kickers. Who was kicking for the Titans the other week? That had a pretty interesting.
Bo Fermor.
Both. That's right.
Yeah.
Bo
He's in
Fermor,
my
that's
super
right.
coach. So I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Get him in.
Yeah. What was he, 1 from 4 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, great. Extra 2 points. Thanks.
Yeah,
Bo.
maybe you could get into a bit of that down the line, a bit of goal kicking coaching, Papa. Because who was it for? Was it Clifford who kicked one that spun the wrong way?
He topped it.
Yeah.
That was like Sammy off the first tee at Royal Sydney. Just complete shank. It somehow hit the fairway. Went over the black dot.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah. Good to watch.
How did he do that?
No
How
idea.
did he do that? I want to know how he did it.
Yeah, I think if you asked him to do it again, he
doesn't make sense.
wouldn't be able to do it. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, so it was pretty. It was an interesting watch. Now, so some sort of betting angles. So you reckon it'll be a blowout either way? That's your.
Well, I think there's upside in getting around a bit of a margin. Like we've seen this in the past, right? When a margin does get away from teams, it can you can score points pretty late. And if there's a team out of the team, and the second half in game 2 is case in point, right? When they had good ball, they were scoring at will. So I'd be looking at. The line's big enough in an Origin. We have to remember it is state of origin, so it's 8 or 8.5 thereabouts. They're $1.40 head to head. you wouldn't really be steaming into those areas, but you could look sort of winning margin 19 plus if you want to get real fruity, Sam. Which, man, you have done in the past in a betting sense, 30 plus, 30 plus sort of angles. The one caveat is the weather.
Down to the icebergs.
Yeah, the one caveat is the weather. We're allowed to timestamp this, so it's. Do we timestamp the show? Do we give away when we?
Yes, timestamp it.
Yeah, so it's Wednesday, the 2nd of July, and it's pissing down sideways outside. So we need it to be dry if you want to step into a margin.
Yep.
But we've got long enough to wait. So.
Yep. What about if you got anything in the realm of like a try score or a man of the match or any of that sort of stuff as well?
Yeah, so try scorers are tricky. So as we record, there's still a little bit of doubt we think about Brian To'o. So the makeup of the back line might shift around. You think, well, Kiraz would just come straight in. You'd think we played left for the Bulldogs on the weekend. They did the old switcheroo.
Bit of prep, you reckon?
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Has been playing a lot of right. So try scorers is tricky, but you do, and games 1 and 2 have shown this. To'o scored a hat-trick. Lomax scored a couple in game 1 as well. You've got to look out wide. The defences in the middle of the field are pretty rock solid. So you'd be looking out wide, but there's, again, not a great deal of value out there.
Yeah. Player of the match, man of the match?
Yeah, I mean, the formula for man of the match generally has been spine players. So Cleary's short enough, but so they're $1.40. You can get about $5 for Nathan Cleary. So that makes him. I like to work a little bit like Ella, trying to work out where to get content, and you work backwards. So if he's $5 and they're $1.40 shot to win the game, you make him about a 30% chance to win the man of the match. If you know they've won the game, New South Wales, does he win it more than 30% of the time? You could probably mount a pretty strong case that he does. Goal kicking that he's not going to do maybe takes away from that, but it's one of those ones you might look back after game 3 and the $5 just could be the absolute steal. We know they over-index in halves. It's like 6 of the 14.
Yep.
Has been a half. I could not talk you out of Nathan Cleary.
Yeah, nice. What about, just assessing a bit of a body of work across is the Wally Lewis medal as well. Now, I jumped on board the Tom Dearden train, who's firmed from, $60 bucks into about $13 or something like that. So if Queensland win, I think I'm in with a shot. I think obviously Munster had a great game in game 2, but who are you thinking in that market?
So actually, not often that I tell you who not to back in man of the matches, but I said this going into game 2 as well. Payne Haas, who won it in game 1, and it was enormous. So you go back through, it's very rare that you see either a back-to-back man of the match winner or the same person win it across twice in the series. Regardless of how good they've played, they try and find a way to sort of divvy it out elsewhere. I think Haas is about $8.50 or $9. He might be second pick in that market.
Okay.
Steer clear of that. I'd be going to the Wally for him. So he's got it in game 1.
Yep.
Didn't do a great deal in game 2, really did. But if they win and he's had a big game, I don't think he's going to win man of the match, but he's an absolute shoe-in for Wally. So I don't actually know what price he is. We might be able to...
Yeah.
I'll have a look now.
What about any if he plays? Huge question marks. What if Bizza plays and gets another couple of tries? I mean, he was enormous in game 2, which they lost. Ran over 200 metres in game 1.
Yeah.
Would have been in their top maybe 3 players.
Who do you think? So say they've won that game. Who's man of the match for the Blues? You reckon?
I think him.
Probably.
I reckon. Like if he's a hat trick.
I think so.
200 metres and a hat trick.
The hard thing you got to weigh up is like you're not getting a big enough price about him winning the man of the match for him to deliver a performance like that. Like it's, a hat trick in Origin is that's legendary sort of stuff, and we know he's going to put up it almost gets taken for granted. He's going to have upwards of 20 carries, 200 metres. That almost gets overlooked now.
Yeah.
So he's probably going to have to score a hat trick.
Yep.
I think you might be getting what's Brian To'o like?
Brian To'o for a hat trick.
No, for man of the match.
For man of the match.
Question without notice.
He is $21.
Who would be leading it for you? How much? Sorry?
21.
Who would be leading, it's a series, say Suncorp Stadium burns down tomorrow and the series is over. Who would be New South Wales' best player so far this series?
Ooh. Probably... Maybe it was Yo.
Been pretty good in both.
Been pretty solid. I mean, game 1, I wouldn't have argued. Game 1, you could have either given it to Haas or Yo were probably my 2 standouts. Cleary might have been 3rd pick. Maybe he's pretty rock solid.
Yep.
Game 2, it's such a weird game. Game 2, the tale of two
Strange
halves,
game. Yeah.
as it were. Hammy, it's really hard to get a read on.
Yep.
Probably Payne Haas, I'd say. I think he would be the favourite for, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree with
He'd
that.
be favourite for Wally.
I agree.
Cleary,
like what you say about Yo there. I actually had him. It's not on the run sheet here, Sam. You'll have to update it. But at the start of the series, I put a unit on Yo as well. At about $26.
Good job.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Even Tino. I don't think Tino's anywhere near it. But
the other thing about man of the match, like there's a big, and it's really hard to factor in when you're sort of sitting down to price it. There's a big narrative factor, and there might be something in Cleary injured. You know, even though they lost that game too, you know, the Origin's littered with sort of war stories over the years. The fact he probably shouldn't have played, but he did. There's a nice bit of narrative that, you know, he was playing sort of a bit hurt in game 2. He comes out in game 3.
Yep.
Half back, has a blinder.
Yep.
You know, there's something in there.
they like a bit of narrative, don't they? That's what drew me to the Dearden one. I was like, if they sack the captain, put him in.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, a great narrative bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Cleary, Wally Lewis to start as well. So
Oh,
we'll see.
nice flex. Very
Thanks.
good.
Yeah, where'd
Hammy,
that
do you
come
want to run through our Origin bets now while Shauno's here?
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Do you want to take the new ball there,
Can
Sam?
I rate them? How about you
That's
throw
what
them
we-
out and
that's
then I'll rate them.
Would love that.
Perfect.
Would love that. Take us away, Sam.
Okay. Well, like in game 2, what did I say about game 2? You want to be on Queensland because there's not a single person in the country who watched game 1 and thought, I'm going to 10. I'm going even more extreme this time. I'm going to have one unit on Queensland 13 plus at $9.25. Purely because I think Queensland can win this game. I think they can cause the upset of the century. But I hate being on 1 to 12. It's the worst bet you can have in rugby league. Absolute terror to watch. So I'd rather be on 13 plus. That's my reasoning. I do think there's some element of look. Sean and I have had discussions about this in the green room. I do struggle to see how it's like if I was an absolute neutral, I would probably be leaning to New South Wales, but you just have to hope that Billy's pulled a masterstroke with Shibasaki. Like look, to be fair to Billy, everyone thought in game 2 that Capewell was a bad decision and it came up pretty well. I just got to hope that there's another miracle in the locker and that Laurie Daly pulls a Laurie Daly special, but he doesn't seem to have those in him as much anymore.
Or his lock.
Yeah,
R.I.P.
that's my hope. And then my only other Origin bet is Val hasn't scored this series yet, and he's back on the wing. It's $2.45 to score one. Obviously, this is all caveated by love a dry track for 30 plus and for Val to score, but back on the wing where it belongs. I do think he's probably a bit of value there at $2.45.
Caveat bet with Sam Phillips.
Yeah, he doesn't mind a caveat, does he?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. I've got some text. He said that he said that he thinks Queensland can win the game. I've got some text transcripts that say otherwise. Sam, there's some spicy stuff from you over the weekend. I don't mind. You know, I am sick for. There's no bigger sicko in this world for a 13 plus bet, particularly an underdog, because I hate the 1 to 12s. And we have seen it. Score lines can get put on late. Do I think it will happen? No. Do I mind the bet, Sam? No, I don't mind it.
Okay, nice. What about...
Give it a 5 out of 10. Just give us a 5 and move on, I reckon.
5 out of 10?
Yeah, 4.
4. Okay, sweet. Over to you, Eagle. What have you got?
Yes, so I am third time lucky for this bet because I've had a unit on New South Wales 13 plus every single game. Obviously got robbed in game 1 because we can't kick. So I'm putting 2 units on New South Wales 13 plus at $2.35. The other bet I have for this game is I was deciding between Nathan Cleary and Latrell Mitchell for man of the match because both of them haven't exactly excelled the way we kind of thought, especially Latrell. And then I found out there's a market where you can do player A or B, which I didn't know we had, which was great. So I thought, you know what? Considering, Cleary's around that $5 mark, I don't mind taking a little lower to cover in case Latrell comes out and has an absolute blind. Like if he scores 2 tries, you just never know. So I'm putting 2 units on Latrell or Nathan Cleary man of the match at $4.20.
Don't mind it. I was trying to work out how you were going to find a way to squeeze in a Manly player there somehow, and
we don't have.
I figured out how you're not going to do it yet.
And I love that. Never pick a Manly player ever again, please. Thank you.
You've given up. You've given up on Manly this year, haven't you?
No, I'm saying don't pick us because I want us playing. I want them playing for Manly.
It's a bit of a sad watch. We'll talk about it later, but it's very, very sad. Very sad state of affairs.
Not as sad as the Tigers.
No, it was a bit. Hey, that's uncalled for.
Wow.
It's just fact. It's just fact.
It's not
Oh,
right.
thanks for that keen observation, Ellie. We've lost 6 in a row. So
6 again.
All right, Hammy,
six more
on.
songs. All right, I've gone. I'm flying in the face of your 1 to 12 is a poor bet. I think if Queensland win, it is 1 to 12. I don't think they blow the Blues away at a cause. So I'm having just a unit on Queensland 1 to 12 at $4. Not getting too carried away. Bearing in mind, I'm still sitting on Dearden Player of the Series. I'm still sitting on Yo Player of the Series. I've got a couple of buns in the oven from that perspective. So I've got them there. The only other bet I'm having on Origin Game 3, Papali'i anytime try scorer. 1 unit on him at $13. I think there's been a few times this year with him where I've looked at him and gone, in fact, big milestone games. He had his 300th, I'm pretty sure he scored. Record breaker he scored. Recalled. Sometimes you've just got to go with your gut. I know, very, very rare for front rowers, particularly ones that will play limited minutes to score. I just got a feeling about this, the fact that they've got him back in there. Again, I'm not going crazy, but at $13, there wasn't a market there for him to kick a goal as well, which I would have liked to the same game multi into. But I'm just going to have a little something on him to score a try. It's
good narrative
on his recall.
And hey, look, speaking of narrative, if he is to score a try, which you can actually have in your same game multis now as try scorers into player of the match.
Yep.
He must be thereabouts for man of the match as well. Big pupper.
Yeah.
Like I think you can get with Queensland. I think you can probably get a little bit spicy with which way you go because again, touching on my point before, like I don't think they're going to give it. They won't give it to Munster back to back. So you can almost put a line through him. He's again a bit like Payne Haas. Instead of backing him for man of the match, just back him for the Wally. Whereas I think New South Wales is probably a little bit more straightforward, but I could definitely get around a big J-Pap man of.
Papa, man of.
Jeez.
What do you reckon Papa, man of into Papa anytime try is paying? I've just got it up here.
Oh, that'd be, what is it, 200s?
You're close, 181.
I could not
Worth a look.
talk you out of
Stewie
it.
Diver?
Yep, I couldn't talk you out of it.
Like it. All right.
Just quickly before we go, what's our predictions for the penalty count at half time in this game?
Well, if New South Wales are as ill-disciplined as they were in game 2, probably similar.
Yeah, I hope so.
8 or 9-0.
Yeah.
Sean, what do you think he does? What do you think Klein does?
Bearing in mind he's the 24th most influential man in rugby league right now.
He is,
Per the code spot. He came in 1 spot higher than Laurie Daly.
Look, to be fair, and I went back, I did it on Get Em Onside, little plug there, forensically went back through every single penalty, and they weren't, the thing about it, they weren't just judgment calls. It wasn't just pinging them for, half a metre offside. There was high shots, there was an elbow when they were in possession of the footy. So I think in real terms, it might have been like a 2-0 penalty count because there was 7 or 8 of them were absolute, just blatant, almost foul play sort of areas. So I don't think we're going to have 10 penalties in the first half. I think he might be a little bit more lenient.
Yeah,
that would be my sort of gut feel.
Yep. All right. Watch your space. Well, mate, thank you for jumping in.
Pleasure.
Loved having you. Hopefully,
love what you're doing on the show, by the way.
Like what? Well, it's just going to say, Get Em Onside, absolutely flying as well.
Flying.
2 shows now as well.
2 shows. Fox League.
Yes, that's right. So Shug describes it as the little engine that could.
Yep.
It's been great to see it grow from a small operation to the well-oiled machine. I would say easily the best show that Sportset's putting out.
And
by a mile.
I would say, and I've been on record as saying this, there's no other show in television history that is ridden on the coattails of another show like we are on Matty Johns both Thursday and Sunday because we ride that bad boy until our fingers are bleeding. And good job on you for giving us a little plug when you're on the couch with the boys. Pleasure.
Yep. Well, you've been seeing him like beach balls on there, so it's a very easy show to plug, really. And I have been seeing him like grains of sand in my segment. So it's nice to kind of direct people in a direction where they're actually going to get some wins up, hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. Hopefully we'll see you maybe a little around finals time or something like that.
Let's do it.
Dogs will be there. So
Dogs will be there.
Good luck with that. And make sure you check out Get Em Onside as well. All right, welcome back to the show. Thanks to Sean there. Make sure you check out Get Em Onside. As mentioned, the show absolutely flying at the moment. And I stand by it. I think it's the best one that we put out. They're all great, but Get Em Onside in particular, the boys got good chemistry. They're picking some winners, and it's doing beautifully at the moment. So make sure you go and get around it. All right, so on to this week. It's over to myself first because I got a bet tonight. in the second test of the England versus India series at Edgbaston. Now, chatting to Matty in the green room earlier, there's a bit of an asterisk around this, but I'm taking the punt on the fact that this bloke is going to line up and play. I think if they want to win the series, he's got to play tonight. So, Jasprit Bumrah, there's been a bit of... he's only going to play 3 tests out of the 5-test series. But I don't know if now is the time to rest him. That'd be a huge gamble for them, given that they lost the first test. So I'm taking him to be the top India wicket taker first innings. In fact, I'm having 3 units on it at $2.50. He took 5 in the first innings the other day. He didn't actually take a wicket in the second innings, which, you know, probably you would have expected him to pick a few up, and it probably had an impact on India winning the match. But he's a class act. And his first innings form the other day was sensational. Going to be interesting to see the conditions there and the toss and whatever as well, whether they bowl first or whatever. But yeah, regardless, if he plays, he's taken the most wickets for them, I think, in the first dig. So that's my first bet for this week. Yeah,
why is he only playing 3?
I think it's just workload management. They've just come out and said that for whatever reason they don't trust his body. But and that's I think that's why he didn't get the captaincy as well when it became available.
Yeah, it's because he had a back injury earlier this year.
Carrying the team too much.
There you go.
Legit.
Yep. Nice. Now, my next bet is taking you to Major League Cricket.
Oh, God.
No, it's
What
great.
do you mean, oh, God?
My family friend is the assistant coach of the Washington Freedom. So
Yeah.
he's doing great work out there.
No, he is doing great work.
He's also assistant coach of the Thunder. So
Yep, doing great work with the Freedom. And this actually relates to a Freedom player that I'm going to be getting around
Good
this
stuff.
one. Mitch Owen, you'll remember, who was the player of the final in the Big Bash this year.
Yeah, gun.
He's a gun. I think, very hard to argue anything else. And he's been going really well so far in the Major League Cricket. He's actually won 4 Player of the Match awards in a row.
huge.
He's potentially going to break a record.
Better than the Panthers if he goes 5 in a row.
Yeah, I think the record, I don't know if it's just Major League Cricket or if it's just cricket at large. I don't know if anyone's won 4 franchise Player of the Match awards in 5 Player of the Match awards in a row. Hayley Matthews did it out here a few years ago, I think, in the women's format of the game. But
Yeah, he's 1 game away from equaling.
that's right. Shakib Al Hassan won 5 in a row for Fortune Barishal in the 2022 Bangladesh Premier League.
There you go.
So the last couple of games, he had against the Mumbai Indians, New York, he hit 60 off 26 rocks, opening the batting. The next game against the Texas Super Kings, he hit 89 off 52 balls and took 3 for 33, bowling medium pace. Against the LA Knight Riders, 43 runs off 16 balls, opening the batting. And his last game, he got a duck. But he took 5 for 17 with the ball.
Okay, there you go.
So he's paying $11 to be the player of the match in the game. The next game is against the Texas Super Kings. That one's tomorrow morning, Thursday morning Australian time. So a unit on Mitch Owen at $11 to be player of the match to equal the record for most player of the match awards in a row in franchise cricket.
Surely they find a way to give it to him. Anyways, let him equal the record.
Hope so.
Have you been watching it, Hammy?
Nah, I haven't been watching heaps. I've just been kind of keeping up with some scores and whatever, but haven't watched the great
It's
deal.
hard because it's on Prime, isn't it? Or
I don't know.
it's something else. It's not easy to get up. Basically, it's not on Fox.
Yeah. I thought it might have been maybe on 7 Mate or something like that, but only some games. So I saw they were playing a few games on the Oakland A's field, which was interesting.
Oh, really?
to start
Because
there.
they're not playing there anymore, the Coliseum. I was going to ask you where they're playing these games. Like, they wouldn't have many grounds like.
They had a bit of a magic round style thing at the Coliseum at the start.
Yeah,
Jake Fraser McGirt went nuts and hit a few dingers into the bleachers, but yeah, it's been kind of spread around after that. But yeah, Mitch Owen, get around him. He's flying at the moment.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
All right, I'll get us into some bets closer to home. I've got one bet on Friday night. Carlton, I've got a 26.5 point start.
They
against
suck.
The Pies. They do, but they can't keep being this bad. They've got too much talent on their list. They keep coming under pressure. They had a 5-day break last week, which I personally sort of overlooked when wagering last week. I know Port Adelaide did as well, but this just seems to me like I don't think the Pies obviously going well. Probably not going as well as their margin on the top of the ladder suggests to me. And this game, if you look back at this game, last 5 games they've played have been well under this margin. There have been a lot of close games. between these two famous rivals. So I just think it's a huge start. Obviously, I think the Pies probably get the job done, but I think it's probably a lot closer than this line suggests. So plus 26.5, 2 units at $1.90 is my bet. And then we go to the cricket. Can't wait for this. Certainly not closer to home, but closer to home in the guys that we're betting on. What did we learn from Test 1? We learned that our only good batsman that we have in the country, reliable one, I would say, in the top 4, is Steve Smith. So I'm having 2 units on him to be a top Australian bat at $3.60. What's he got to score here to be the top bat? Like 30? Like Constance is unfortunately a walking wicket at this point. Kawaj is the same. I know he got 40, but hasn't been performing in first innings. And yeah, fair to say, Inglis didn't exactly fire either in the first test. So 2 units on Smith at $3.60, coming back from injury. And one man who hasn't really probably got the plaudits he deserves.
I've been in his plaudit.
You've been a big fan of his work. He hasn't had a man of the match, I don't think. He's been probably close in literally every test he's played since coming into the side.
Yep.
So I think this is a big price. I think Slug, aka Bo Webster, 1 unit on him at $10 to be man of the match in test 2.
What does he need, you reckon, to do that? I reckon if he tons up.
Definitely ton.
Unless anyone else gets a big monster one. But if he gets a ton and takes a wicket in both bowling innings, he's probably there, isn't he? Because he will probably take some catches.
I don't even think he needs a ton, even 70 or 80, or depending on whether Smith goes large or something like that. But I just think he's contributing so well in both departments. It just keeps him in the mix for this sort of award. And all he needs to do is to go big in one of those departments, obviously, and he'll get the job done because he just never goes missing.
Yep.
Does he?
It's interesting seeing two ends of the spectrum. You know, Sam Constance, like lot of potential, get him in there on the potential.
Yeah.
And you got someone like Bo Webster who's had to play 15 years of first class cricket or thereabouts to get a start, and he knows his game so well.
Yeah,
which is nice.
That's a great way to put it. Like, no, he just clearly knows his game so well. He just he knows his scoring zones, he knows when to defend, and then bowling wise, he just keeps putting it in the right areas, like all of our bowlers do, to be honest. But it's just a nice change from picking guys on Hope, I suppose.
Tristan Hope.
Tiger's great.
Yep. Hopefully he is on Sunday. I think I've got something here on Friday as well for the cricket.
Yep.
I've just gone one of my favourites, the old wicket taker player multi. This will go up a little bit closer to the game happening. The traders usually put up kind of day of the game sort of thing. So I was going Stark, Cummins and Hoff all to take 2 or more wickets. So if I was to have a guess, that'll come out at about approximately the $3 mark. So I'm having 2 units on that as well. They all bowled really well. Obviously, sometimes they pinch wickets off each other, but I think they're all going to give each other a chance to take a couple. Poor old Nathan Lyon's hardly been getting a bowl at the moment, so I'd imagine those guys will share the chunk of them between each other. So that's the way I'm playing that.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. Let's go to Saturday, because what an event. Nathan's hot dog eating contest.
Yes, 4th
Huge,
of July.
4th of July. Excited for this. So, our boy, Jay Webby, I was looking at his stats. In 2023, he ate 47 hot dogs. 2024, 51. If you keep going on that, he's averaging in 4 more hot dogs per year.
Yep.
So, we've got to mark it over under whether he'll eat 55 hot dogs. So, I am pushing... How many units am I putting? 1 unit on Webby to go 55 plus hot dogs at $2.75, because, like I said, as history, if it repeats itself, he will improve by 4 hot dogs, which will push him into the 55.
Like, I don't know where he hides them at all as well. He's absolutely jacked.
I was thinking, does he train for it? And how? Because you'd have to, right? To see how many you can do, and how often can he train for it? Is it once a week? Is it once a month?
I watched an interview with Joey Chestnut about this. Apparently, if you're not in good shape, it actually limits your ability to eat. Does that make sense? So I think it's potentially cardio related. You're trying to get as much oxygen in as possible.
Actually, to be fair, the more muscle you have, the more calories you burn in a day. That's why people's maintenance who are really, really muscly can be eating 3,000 calories a day and not putting on weight. So maybe that's got something to do with it.
That's part of it. Okay. I think it's also to get in that sort of shape, and obviously be able to train and eat like Jay Webby eats. He is super, as you would expect, super regimented with his food. and training away from his challenges, and he's calculating every calorie and quite detailed, I think, to stay in good shape. So you would imagine, like, if you had never seen a hot dog eating contest before, you'd be like, oh, they're all massive, but they're not. They're all, yeah, it's an interesting tidbit on the hot dog eating contest. Speaking of which, you still got me?
Yeah, still got you.
Gotcha. You're all good. Keep going.
Speaking of which, maybe top 3 hot dog contest. Obviously, Chestnut back in the mix. Not ideal because he's firing away the best in the business, but it's something he's done a couple of times before. As you say, Ella, I think he'll keep improving, and if he keeps improving, he'll hit. I don't know if he'll hit 55, but he hits that sort of the work I've done. If he hits that 51 to 53 range, should land him in the top 3. So happy to have 2 units on him at $1.91.
Nice. How'd you go in the gyoza eating contest over there? A lot of people predicting you'd be in the top 3.
Gyoza. Surprise. Oh, sorry.
A lot of people were tipping you to finish in the top 3 there as well.
I tell you, I was top 3 in the there's an all you can eat sushi joint I went to that was like $40 Australian.
Yep.
I was top 3 of that joint that night. Trust me, I did a good number on that place.
Do these sound like the actions of a man who'd had all he could eat? And then after that, we went fishing. Hey, did you end up getting a mochi ball in the end?
Yeah, I had one. I forgot to send it to you. Again, I'm not great at taking photos and putting it online, as you may well.
Was it life-changing or not? Not so much.
Nah, look, I predicted it wasn't really going to be my go. All those Japanese sweets, not really up my alley, to be honest.
You missed the out, man.
Nah, more into like the as you say, the life-changing ramen, the all-you-can-eat sushi, all that sort of stuff's more my go.
Yeah, nice. It's all good. It's all good stuff over there. All right, let's keep going on to Sunday. You got a couple here, Eagle. I'm just going to take one on my beloved Tigers. Now, this is, again, narrativebet.com/Terrell May for me on this occasion. Playing against his old club, yes, I think we're pushing it uphill against the Chooks this weekend. Although, friend of the show, Hainsey, did say there was 6 players named that he had no idea who they were.
Hainsey didn't know that.
That's what he said.
I thought he was like really stuck into reserve grade.
That's what I thought too, but he was honest,
fake fair,
and he owned it. And he said there was a lot of. He goes, that might even things out a little bit. I'm not tipping us to win or anything like that, but I do think Terrell May will have an axe to grind against the team that cut him loose. He's pretty vocal about being let go from them when he did. A couple of the outs that they've got are in the front row. There's a few names there that you might not recognise as much. So I just wonder whether he might be able to barge over and score a try. Again, Tigers don't necessarily have to win, but I can see him potentially doing some sort of try celebration. Shout out to Try July, but also getting stuck into the club that let him go. So he's paying $7.75 to score a try, a unit on Terrell May to get the job done.
Yeah, I like it. I have looked at this team list. There is actually quite a few names that I have got no idea who they are.
Yeah.
So, Hainsey could be on to
Give
something.
us some.
What about Benaya Iolu? He's a hooker.
Never heard of him.
Salisi Fiketti.
I know Salisi Fiketti. Vomit on his sweater already. Salisi Fiketti. Max
McCarthy. Taylor Lasalu. I think I've heard of De La Salle VAR before, but there's a school in Cronulla, isn't
What's
it?
doing? What's doing with these names?
What's Adam doing?
Coming from?
Where are they coming from?
What is Adam doing?
Reserve grade.
Well, obviously, they come from reserve grade, you gibber, but this is like where they don't have that many blokes unavailable.
No, they do, because they've got Crichton, Watson, Collins, Toya, Siwa Wong, and Spencer Leniu all out. So,
but did they must have had a buy a couple of weeks ago, and those blokes are all out.
What do you mean?
You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's move on.
Yeah, that'd be great if we could. Yeah. Ellie, you got a couple on?
I do. Obviously, we didn't have the show last week, but I did have my own market created because Manly have been an absolute roller coaster to follow this year. Because every single time we've won, it's been by 13 plus or we've lost. So we made our own market for Manly to win 13 plus or to lose 13 plus. That was just to boost up the odds a little bit. Not that we've lost 13 plus every single time. Obviously, it came off. during that first half, I was like, Jesus Christ, no one's going to score here and we're going to win 6-0. But we did end up winning 13 plus. This week we have the Rabbitohs. There's no Latrell. There's no Cody Walker at the moment. But so you think Manly will win, and if we win 13 plus. It's a brookie. But the last time this happened, we were playing Para with no Moses, no Lomax. They put 13 plus on us. We played the Titans during the Origin period. They also put 13 plus on us. So these games where we should be winning, we aren't. So we're going back to that market. Manly win 13 plus or lose 13 plus. This week the odds are a little bit shorter. It's $1.75 rather than $2 last week. But I am putting 3 units on it because I honestly can see it going either way there. We should win, but again, we're not winning the games we should. So that's tough. In the other games, actually I've got a couple of more future bets here as well. So obviously we've got the market for when Alex Johnson will break the try scoring record.
Yes.
And I was having a look at it and I was thinking, like, obviously he's playing fullback this week, so that kind of limits potentially his try scoring opportunities rather than when he's on the wing. And he is also a little bit injury prone, so I could see him missing like 1 or 2 more games for the rest of the year. How poetic would it be for him to get it done in round 27 against the Roosters?
Yeah.
it'd be
Is that at
So-
Allianz as well?
It's at Allianz, yeah.
Get out of my stadium.
So
Get out
as
of
we
my
know, it's at
stadium.
Allianz because I'm pretty sure it's Allianz. Because I think that's where, you know, some banners could have potentially been made, etc.
Yes.
So I am putting a unit on that at $8.
Yep.
There's a few shorter ones against, I think, the Dragons and the Titans in a few weeks' time. But he needs 6 more tries to equal it. So, yeah, I feel like that could be a good omen bet there.
Don't mind that.
And then I'm kind of copying what you did with, was it Fletcher Shah?
Yep.
With the top try scorer for the month. So for the top July try scorer, I'm putting a unit on Mark Nwangani-Tawase at $17. Obviously, there's a few heavier favourites, but I was looking at the Roosters draw and they have a pretty good run for the next month. The favourite at the moment was Pappy, and then after that was Grant Anderson.
Yep.
Xavier Coates was up the top 2. I wanted to lean more towards a winger or a centre, obviously. But the Roosters have no more buys for the next month, and they are playing the Tigers obviously this week. Then they've got the Dragons, the Sharks, and then the Storm to finish it off. So
Yep.
I thought might as well just put a unit on Marky Mark there because he's in some good form.
Yes.
Maybe I should bring him into Supercoach because on Buy Swap Sell they said to bring him in.
Yeah, I'm bringing him in this week.
I've got too many Roosters players in my team.
He could towel us up this week, so it might be a good
He
week
could.
to get him.
He could.
I also realised I had another unit to play with, so I'm jumping on that market too. I spoke about this one on SEN this morning. I'm actually going to put Pappy in there, top July try score. He's the favourite, $5, but the Storm actually play 5 games in July.
Huge.
Because they play a
huge.
Thursday night, 31st of July as well. So they got the Cowboys, which they could carve them up. They got the Knights again, carve up job. Manly, hate to say it, carve up job in Melbourne. Then they got the Chooks, and then they play the Eels. So he's going to play all those games.
That's good.
Yeah, the
That's
extra
good.
game. The extra game's a big one.
Yeah, obviously Coates is in there as well at about the $10 mark, but he's going to miss a couple because
Exactly.
he's got Origin
Yeah.
or whatever. Grant Anderson, maybe I could there's a few games here where Pappy could score 2 or 3, I
Yeah.
reckon. So
Yeah.
that's why I've
That's
gone.
good.
No, I
angle.
like it.
That's
I
really
like
good.
it.
Yep. All right, I think that's all of our bets.
That's all of our bets, and because it's the second day of the month, first day in America, obviously, American Tuesday.
Reeks. What American Tuesday.
It's horoscope time, and this month I've actually written down everyone's challenging and standout days so we can reflect the next month because
Oh, great.
the website just refreshes it and you can't go. We could just go listen back to the. I did have a good day, the Manly Tigers game. Remember,
Yeah.
that was a standout day, and it was a good standout day that day.
Yeah, sort of.
Well, so it was also challenging to watch. Anyways,
It was.
whatever. Who wants to go first?
Where are the mayor of Tokyo? over
Okay,
there?
Mayor of Tokyo. Virgo, right? I don't
Yeah.
know why it doesn't stick in my head what sign you are. I don't know. Okay, Virgo. Your influence is rising, Virgo.
Oh,
July asks you to redefine power as soft, magnetic, and rooted in soul. July reveals who you are when no one is watching.
Okay.
Wow. Okay. Your standout days are, okay, why do I have January 2026 here? The 10th of July, which is next Thursday, day
that?
after
Okay.
Origin.
oh,
It's also the 19th of July, which is a Saturday in a few weeks.
That's Wallabies Lions game 1 up here in Brizzy. I'll be here.
Oh, Manly also play the Storm in Melbourne that night.
We're doing Sam's at the moment.
And then also Wednesday, the 23rd of July.
Okay.
Okay.
All I care about there is that Lions Wallabies line. That's great news.
That
I'll
is
be
good
telling
news for
everyone
you.
that.
Challenging days, this is actually already, I think, correct, was yesterday. Obviously, you said you had like 1 hour
one of the
sleep.
toughest carries of my life.
Yeah,
yesterday.
that is
Yep.
tough.
You've lived a sheltered life.
The butler wasn't there to help his parents move
Where are
out.
the butlers?
It was me
Yeah.
and my brother and 2 removalists.
The butlers.
The butlers.
Continue.
Your next challenging day is the 7th, which is next Monday.
Bit of Monday-itis.
Probably be raining in Sydney or something, Monday-itis, something like that.
And then also the Monday after that, the 14th.
Bit more Monday-itis.
Monday-itis.
Monday-itis. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. But I think it's pretty accurate already.
Maybe Australia lose the next test or something, and that's why Monday's a challenge.
Potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Okay, Taurus.
Me.
July offers you a deep abundance, Taurus. You're learning to trust what feels nourishing while wealth becomes a lived experience. Wow.
Hey.
Wealth. Maybe
Shave your multis.
you'll start, the
Tom
multis.
did
Yeah.
play the series.
Yeah.
Could do. Okay, your standout days are this Friday, the 4th.
Friday the 4th. Cool. I haven't got anything planned, but
Okay.
that's great.
The 10th, which is next Thursday. Again, after State of Origin.
Ooh,
Geez,
this
is giving Queensland.
enthusiasts having a
This
good
is
day.
good stuff.
Yikes.
This is really good stuff.
And then also Friday the 18th.
Friday the 18th. Again, Friday the 18th is going to be a fantastic day. I'll tell you why. For Mon's birthday, we've never been to a show at the full-blown Sydney Opera House before. So as one of her birthday presents, I bought tickets to, it's like the symphony orchestra playing the score of Toy Story.
Oh, yes. That's
that's
epic.
cool.
That's really
And
fun.
we'll probably go to like Clam Bar or something similar to
Yeah,
that before.
that's
So
great.
that will be good.
That
I'm
will be a
looking forward to
standout day for sure.
Great day. Great day.
Your challenge day. When did you say the Tigers play this week?
that. Sunday.
Challenging day is Sunday the 6th.
Oh.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Also the 17th, which is a Thursday,
Yeah, okay.
and the 25th, which is a Friday in a few weeks.
Yeah. Challenging day, you reckon?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be heading on a Bucks that day, so
Well,
Sounds about right.
it could be challenging.
yeah, probably will be. Yeah.
Tough
That can be
carry.
some tough carries.
That
They're
all makes-
fun, but they can be tough
Anyways.
carries.
That all makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay, and
What
then
about
for
you?
myself, this month, you're redefining the way you connect, Sagittarius. The heart of July invites you to view your manifestations as compass points. That felt like a lot of words that don't make sense together.
Compass points.
That's pretty on brand for a
points.
horoscope, no?
Yeah, anyways, okay, my standout days are this Sunday, Manly game.
Oh, yeah.
Huge,
The
huge.
ladies' lunch into the Manly game.
Yep, ladies' lunch, Magic Round reunion for the
What?
gals.
We're not invited. Ladies'
Yeah,
lunch,
no,
mate.
sorry. You wouldn't get it.
Who's on the list there?
Kat, Court, Maddie's girlfriend, Millie. I don't know who else is coming. Anyways,
That's a good crew.
it's a good crew. It's obviously Manly South. So who knows? We could win our first back-to-back game since round 3 and 4 this year
Wow.
in March.
No way.
Oh.
Is that right?
So painful. Anyways,
The
I should have
Sean-
explained that when I was doing my bet before.
The
But yeah.
Sean Kepi Cup.
He got dropped. He got dropped.
Did he?
Because he.
course he
Whoops,
did.
I shouldn't say that.
As he should. He was disgraceful.
I have trauma. My other standout days are Wednesday the 16th. Sagittarius game, obviously. We won last week and I scored a try. So
Did you?
Go me. Yep.
What were you paying anytime try
talk us
scorer?
through the
I was
try.
So I was on the wing because I kind of like to hang out there just because I get a bit scared in the middle. And a lot of my teammates have told me that when I run with the ball, I'm like 50% slower than when I run naturally, like when I'm chasing someone. So I got the ball and I was like starting to run, and then in my head I went, just run faster. Like literally just run faster. So I started running faster and sure enough I scored. So
How good. It's a pretty simple game,
it's
isn't it,
such
when
a
you break
simple
it
game.
down?
And it would have been hilarious, like seeing video of me because I was like running at 50% pace and then all of a sudden I just took off. So anyways,
How good.
Good stuff. And then also the 24th of July. Don't
Thursday.
know. It's a Thursday. Don't have anything because Manly play the Sunday that week against the Bulldogs. Challenging days, the Monday the 7th.
Monday-itis.
Monday-itis. So much
Again.
Monday-itis going around. Monday's always a challenge. They're probably one of my busiest days of the week. So
Yeah.
Then the 13th.
Garfield Phillips loves lasagna, hates Monday.
Exactly. Also the 13th of July, that's my brother's birthday actually, so it'll be challenging because he's living the dream in Europe and
Yeah,
I'm
he is.
in
That's true.
Sydney. So, and then also Wednesday the 23rd of July.
Wednesday the 20th.
Another
Few
Oztag
Wednesdays
game.
that are challenging. Yeah, Oztag, but it's not the one that counts for Sam and myself, the 9th of July.
No, I was wondering if there
Yeah.
was going to be any synergy there, but there wasn't.
Oh.
So, anyways, shall be an interesting month.
Certainly will be. Very good.
All right.
Love that for us.
Love it.
Well, there
Been
we
a
go.
long show.
We soldiered on, didn't we, Sam?
Yeah, I got a bit of a sore butt sitting on my bed at the moment. It's a bit sore, so let's get this. As Buzz would say, can I go now?
Yeah, good on you, you gibber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where was Buzz on the list?
Can I go now?
In the top 50.
I think he's in the top 15 or thereabouts.
Who was number one? I actually haven't read it.
Nathan Cleary.
Oh, okay. He was very lovely. When we did our blues shoot with him, he went around and picked up all the empty water bottles to clean up the dressing room. I thought that was quite
Just goes
sweet.
to show the most influential people can still, subscribe to that sweeping the sheds mantra. of the All
Exactly.
Blacks.
And he was spotted at Brookvale Oval last Saturday.
I saw that.
Yeah.
With,
Why?
with Ivan.
Because
jet
he's
play.
because he's signing with Manly. No.
Watching jet play.
No,
Why
no,
would
no.
you sign with your rabble of the club?
I asked
Why would
him.
anyone
I
sign
asked him
with
if he
your
wanted
He
to
wants to
sign
come
with the
home.
Tigers the other day. He said no.
It was a straight up no as well. It wasn't like a hesitation. He was like, no.
It was just not even a thought.
No, it was like genuinely like he didn't consider it.
Hadn't even finished asking, and he said no. So anyway, I didn't
Anyways.
try. All right, I think that's us. Good stuff. Give us a follow everywhere. All the good stuff. Get around us on the feed as well. Looking forward to having you back in the studio next week, mate. It's been too long.
Me too. Can't wait. See you blokes and Ella. Who am I talking to there? It's just literally you. Just one.
Yeah, why the plural and blokes?
It was Matty's there. He's there in
Yeah,
spirit.
he's there too.
he is.
All right.
All right. I'll see you at the back end of this week.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Arigato.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.